Hi friends, I am M.Sowthamini, 2nd BCom B, Department of Commerce, student of KCS Kasinadar College of Arts and Science. Today we are going to learn about linear programming. The contents are advantages of linear programming, limitation of linear programming, formulation of linear programming. First, advantages of linear programming. Linear programming helps in attain the optimum use of productive resources. It also indicates how a decision maker can employ its productive factor effectively by selecting and distributing these resources. Linear programming helps in optimum use of productive resources. It also helps the decision maker to set the productive factor by selecting and distributing the resources. Linear programming techniques improves the quality of decision. The decision-making approach of the user of this technique become more objective and less subjective. The technique of linear programming improves the decision better. The decision of the user of this technique is more objective and less subjective. Linear programming techniques provide possible and practical solutions since there must be other constraint outside the problem which must be just because we can produce so many units documents not means that they can be sold, thus necessary modification of its mathematical solution is required for the sake of convenience to the decision maker. The LPP technique gives the practical solution. The other constraint must be take into the account so we can produce the unit. But the document cannot be sold. The decision maker modified the solution for a sake, highlighting the bottlenecks in the production process is the most significant advantages of the technique. The most advantage process is highlighting the problems. Linear programming also helps in re-evaluation of the basic plan for changing condition. If condition change when the plan is partly carried out, they can be determined as to adjust the remainder of the plan for best result. Linear programming problem also helps the re-evaluation for the changing condition. If condition change, the plan is partly carried out and they adjust the remainder so the plan gets best result. Next, we are going to see limitation of linear programming. It is not simple to determine the objective function mathematically in LPP. In LPP, objective function is not easy. It is difficult to specify the constraint even after determination the objective function. In objective function, to specify the constraint is too difficult. There is a possibility that the objective function and constraint may or may not be directly defined by linear in the equality of equation. That means both functions should be linear. The objective function and constraint are possible in the linear, may or may not be directly by linear in the equation. The main problem while solving LPP is to determine the suitable coefficient value at each step. While solving problem in LPP, the main problem is to determine the coefficient value at each step. The assumptions made for LPP are not realistic since they will be taken based on the element involved in the given situation. In LPP, the assumption is not realistic since the element involved in the given situation. The solution obtained in LPP may not be integral all the time. Next, formulation of LPP. Define the objective. Find whether the objective is minimum or maximum. Define the decision variable. In the next step, find the decision variable that appear in the objective function. Write the mathematical function for the objective. Write the objective function in mathematical form. Write the constraint. Usually the constraint appeared in the form of inequalities. Constraints can be in greater than or equal to or less than or form. Next we just do a simple sum. A company manufactures three type of product which use precious metal, platinum and gold. Due to the shortage of these metals, the government regulates the amount that may be used per day. The relevant data with respect to supplier equipment and profit are summarized in the below table. Now we see the table. Product ABC, platinum required 246, gold required 324. Profit. Product A 500, product B 600, product C 1200. Daily allotment of platinum and gold is 160 gram and 120 gram respectively. How should the company divide the supply of precious metal? Formulated the mathematical model. Now we solved the problem. Okay. ப்ராடக்ட் ஏவை வந்து X1 ஆகவும் ப்ராடக்ட் பியை வந்து X2 ஆகவும் வச்சுக்கலாம். ப்ராடக்ட் சியை வந்து X3 மாத்திக்கலாம். கொஸ்டின்ல வந்து ப்ராஃபிட்னு கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. ஸோ ப்ராஃபிட்னு கொஸ்டின் வந்தா இது மேக்ஸிமம் சம். அதனால மேக்ஸிமைஸ் Z இஸ் ஈக்குவல் டு ப்ராஃபிட் வச்சு போறதுனால ப்ராஃபிட்ல வந்து 500, ப்ராடக்ட் ஏக்கு 500 இருக்கனால 500 X1 பிளஸ் ப்ராடக்ட் பில வந்து 600 இருக்கனால 600 X2. ப்ராடக்ட் சில 1200 இருக்கனால 1200 X3. Next, subject to the constraint. பிளாட்டினம் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ப்ராடக்ட் ஏபிசிக்கு வந்து 246 கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. ஸோ 2x1 plus 4x2 plus 6x3 greater than or equal to 160 gram. அங்கே வந்து டெய்லி அலாட்மெண்ட்டுக்கு வந்து 160 grams கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. அதனால நெக்ஸ்ட் கோல்டில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா 3x1 plus 2x2 plus 4x3 greater than or equal to 120 grams. இப்போ இதில் வந்து ரெண்டு இதுவும் முடிச்சிட்டோம். நம்ம வேரியபிள்ஸ்லாம் கீழே எழுதணும், அதுக்கும் மார்க் உண்டு. அதனால X1 X2 X3 மூணு வேரியபிள்ஸும் வந்து இந்த சம்மில் வந்திருக்கனால X1 X2 X3 போட்டுட்டு லெஸ் தேன் ஈக்குவல் டு 0 போடணும். இஃப் சப்போஸ் X1 X2 மட்டும் கொடுத்து வந்துருந்துச்சுன்னா நீங்கள் வெறுமனே X1 X2 போட்டுட்டு லெஸ் தேன் ஈக்குவல் டு 0 போட்டுக்கலாம். அவ்வளோதான் இந்த சம். இதுதான் சம். தேங்க்யூ.